The Olympic lifts and developing leg strength. High bar is going to favor more speed and a little bit better transition to snatches and cleans. So when we talk about the Olympic lifts in a couple weeks, you'll start to see, because those become a little bit more quad dominant. Your low bar includes a little bit more hamstrings because you're getting more hip flexions. You got to extend a little bit more your hips. You're going to get a little bit more glute hamstring involvement. Now when we look at taking a step back, right? Because one of the ways we can step back is decrease the amount of load that you can use, but then also being able to manipulate and find the variable that's going to help you keep that bar over the center of your foot. This one's going to challenge mobility for some of you. Now there's two ways we can do it. You don't have to really pick one over the other, right? Like I said, it's like there isn't like a set way that you can do this. So when we look at putting a bar on your back, you can handle more load that way, but it's going to put a little bit more stress in your spine because you're going to put your spine in a little bit more of a bent over angle. Then we can front squats. This is our little step down. There's two different ways you can grip it though. Neither of them are correct or incorrect. Okay, which is a weird way to say that it just matters however you feel you like to do it that way. A lot of people you'll see will do this thing where they put like two fingers on the bar and they do this. This works, but your wrist will hate you eventually. Okay? So your wrist is a hinge joint. It goes forward and backward. It is not like side to side as much. So if I do this right here, I'm going more side to side and putting a lot of stress on it. When we looked at your arm, right, we had your radius and your ulna that are in here. Well, if I touch my shoulder and then rotate out, all of a sudden you start to see my hand lays out to the side of my shoulder. So when we look at the front squat, find that position, right? You can literally walk in like this, put the bar, because what we're going to look for, regardless of the grip you choose, is 3 points of contact. Shoulder blade, right, or chromium process right there in the end. Same on the other side. And then your collarbones. We could literally pick the bar up like this. If we were actually going to squat like this, they call it a zombie squat, right? You can still do a front squat in this way. It's a little more challenging balance because you drop your arms, the bar drops down, okay? But you can step in, find those contact points, and reach, and turn your hands over. Now all of a sudden I kind of know roughly where my hands are going to go, all right? So we can grip it here. We're relaxing our hands, putting the bar on the basically our collarbones and those end points of the shoulder, okay? When we talked about the shoulder, we talked about the sternoclavicular joint, the little balls right here on the side of your throat. We're putting the bar there. We don't want to actually shove it into our throat. We don't want to be like here and then all of a sudden we start getting like this weird talking voice all of a sudden. We don't want that because then you're going to pass out eventually. You're going to cut off airflow. How you're going to do that is shrugging your shoulder blades forward a little bit. So we literally kind of reach the shoulder blades forward. The other way you can grip this is reaching forward, finding it on your shoulders. Hey, Macarena. All right, reach across, elbows stay high. All right, we're going to show you that version here. So reaching out, same thing. We're going to bring our hips up under us, so stack the spine up. All right, so we've got our little Macarena. We'd actually want to do that beforehand. All right, but just touching the top of the bar. You're going to face the other way, so you're going to take a step backwards. All right, but just so you can see it, everything stays the same. Break the hips and knees first. Trying to keep that bar over the center of our foot. That stays up. The big thing here, don't let your elbows drop because the bar is going to come off. Right? It starts to fall. Elbows, you have to actively drive up to the ceiling. Standing back up. Okay? The same thing would apply if I use here on this grip. Now you might see people on the fingertips. That's fine. We just talked about like creating tension at each point of the joint, right? So if I create a tense forearm and wrist, my elbow gets tense, my bicep gets tense, my shoulder gets tense, then my spine gets tense because everything all of a sudden is able to support that. All right? So we can grab here, same thing, driving the elbows up, hips and knees break at the same time, sinking down in that position, driving all the way back up. You get to pick. Obviously, and this is because I just demonstrated it walking out this way, you're still going to face this way. Still face the mirror and step back. You would not believe the number of like 15 and 16-year-olds that will see somebody demonstrate it that way and then try to walk forward. So take a step back, then do your squat. All right, same thing, right? Unrack it. 1, 2, or if you like to go in this position. Try a set with both grips, and then give me 2 more sets with the other grip. Okay? With the one you like to pick the most. That makes sense? So do a set with each grip, 5 reps. Then whatever grip you like the best, do 2 more sets of that one. All right? Here we go.